Trolling is never fair. That's why it's trolling. For an actual full game of roller derby. That's right, 60 minutes. We start the quarterfinal rounds of the tournament. My name is Captain Motorboater, alongside the unbelievable Melodrama.
You don't even know who I am.
No, because they only give me 3 letters. M-E-L.
That's all we feel you can handle.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why they put me on a microphone. Australia versus Argentina. We're going to let you know who's skating first up. We're going to meet the fine skaters from the Wizard of Oz.
Indeed we are. The Wizards playing in the yellow strip today. We have 0-5 Lucky Phil, 1-1 Sausage Rolls, 1-2 Simon Chambers, 1-2-6-1 Slinger, 1-3 Matthew Hawley, 1-6 Ballistic Missile, 1-7-3 Copter, 34 Dirty 5, 4 Ashley Collins, 51 Aaron Van Berkel, 633 Grant Milling, 7200 Stephen Trop, 777 David Deckham, number 80 Flaming Galar, number 90 Grease Monkey, and on their bench we have Yana Nuku.
Next up, the skaters from Argentina. Number 0207 Sosa, number 8 Pibe, 087 Lea, number 10, Chispa. Number 12, Cruz. Number 13, Malopra. Number 20, Party Boy. Number 21, Evidoce. 22, Optimus Quad. 26 is Vasquez. 28, Sanchez. Number 3, Victor. Number 7, Black Shadow. 99, Donet. "50 seconds to derby." That's right. We are going 60 minutes of roller derby, half times, everything you're accustomed to. We're done with the 30 minutes of fun. Now it's 60 minutes of incredibly competitive gameplay, and this game should be incredible. Well, these teams have been awfully successful through their march to the quarterfinals.
And on the jammer line in the gold for playing for the Wizards of Oz, we have Slinger, and he is up against Chispa for Argentina.
And we are officially underway. Slinger quickly jumping to lead jam for Australia. Right behind Slinger is Chispa. Both skaters in a position to put points on the board. Chispa looking for room inside, then pushed outside.
Taken out by Ballistic and Chambers. Chispa taken right back to the pivot line. Slinger taken right back to the jammer line. Both teams starting with a very solid defense.
Argentina holding Slinger back with a brace 3 wall, allowing for a little bit of offensive work up front. Chispa not able to take advantage of that help, though. Cut track penalty, so that's going to be 30 seconds of power jam time for Slinger. Let's see what the Wizard of Oz skaters can do on this.
Slinger still struggling to get through the pack.
Seemed best to just call it off and have a fresh set of legs out there to try to put some points on the board during the power start.
Now the fresh set of legs belonging to Matthew Hawley, who is skating in the jersey Dreadblocks. Many of the players in Australia choosing to confuse the commentators by using shirts that don't quite match the roster.
Carly with a little bit of pinball around the defense of Argentina. Has room on the outside. Basically ran the entire front stretch on his toe stops, but able to get lead jam position locked up for Australia.
Chispa back on the track as well.
quite a size advantage for the Aussies. A full head above most of those jammers you're going to see for Argentina.
Argentina, of course, the shorter jam is definitely flexible enough, as we just saw Chispa cycle around milling.
If you're familiar with the Argentinians, you will see Pibe, probably the shortest statured player. Pibe was the MVP jammer of the 2016 Men's Roller Derby World Cup. So size not always indicative of performance, especially when you have the skill set that Pibe does.
Chispa getting some air.
Two
rather large blockers there in the size of Trop and Copter for Australia.
Yeah, that air was not by design for Chispa.
Dreadblocks through on his scoring pass. 9 points for this jam so far. I believe Argentina still to complete their initial.
Star pass completed for the initial. Victor now the jammer on record for Argentina, but the jam called off. Dreadblocks jamming excellently for Australia. 11 points on the jam, 14-4 with 26:30 to go in period number 1. Lucky Phil toes the jam line for Australia this time, taking on number 12 from Argentina. That's Cruz.
Cruz looking for a run-up. Certainly got that more rugby athletic build to him.
Cruz with a little bit of a size switch from the previous two Argentinian jammers, so might be able to get better penetration.
Donnet giving a bit of assistance so that Cruz could get through, but Cruz with a track cut goes to the cheese ball bearings penalty box. Lucky Phil with the power jam. Australian blockers choosing not to assist, but rather holding a goat back clockwise, a counter direction of play block given to Australian blocker.
Lucky Phil already on the initial, now hits the brace 3-wall from Argentina. Good work up front by Donnet. Sanchez with a great block. Now trying to force that recycle, and does almost to the jam line, Lucky Phil. And then one-on-one, knocks off the track and avoids a block by Aaron Van Berkel.
Aaron Van Berkel sent, oh pardon me, that isn't Aaron, that's Collins sent to the penalty box. And Lucky Phil calling that jam off. No points added for his pass. Pardon me, 4 points added, nothing added for Argentina.
Sanchez with great work individually from a blocking perspective, really causing mass chaos and keeping that 4 points from Australia down to a minimum.
Argentina yet to get lead in this game, but with Pibe on the jammer line, that is not unlikely to change, although we do have Sausage Rolls jamming for Australia. Certainly one of the most flexible jammers I've ever seen.
This is going to be a jam of two contrasting styles, to say the least. Sausage not lacking in quickness, Pibe living on quickness, but both of them top-end speed. It's really for Pibe about what kinds of seams and cracks that he can find himself squeezing through. Sausage is going to use a mountain of blockers that he has in front of him. We'll see if they go offensive quickly or if they try to play defensive against Pibe.
And often you'll see Pibe sneak under blockers with his size advantage there. But Sarge also having the ability to get down and under blockers. Argentina with a 4-3 pack advantage, though, could work to his favour. Not at all. Sarge through and his lead jammer for Australia.
Pibe through quickly as well, so Sarge in a scoring position for Australia. Pinballs around a destroyed wall for Argentina.
Pibe
ducks under.
He bounced off Copter and then ducked under milling 4 points apiece. Sausage and Pibe duking it out the front.
Nice slip through by Sausage.
Sarge keeps the jam going.
Quite different approach there as Argentina was very spread out.
No pass, no penalty, so that's only 3 for that pass on Pibe. Sarge mashing his way through. He is lead jammer, but not calling the jam off. He's going to continue skating. Pibe held back by Milling and Copter. Copter feels it was a track cut, and referees agreed. Power jam given to Australia.
I think Pibe was laying on the ground being laid upon, which did draw a penalty, but also he did not re-establish track position and drew the track cut. So it was important for him to focus on, yes, he was penalized against, but then committed a penalty himself, costing him 30 seconds.
And out of the last 4 jams, Argentina has drawn 3 track cuts so far. They're going to want to settle, take a minute. This is a full-length game, and that gives players a bit more of an opportunity to settle themselves, get rid of the nerves, and get into the game.
Well, nerves aside, I think Argentina is trying to figure out a way to deal with the size difference that their blockers are struggling with against Australia. Australia is just able to really do everything they want to do from a blocking standpoint.
Slinger making their way out front for lead jammer.
A 2-wall up front, stop Slinger. Garnett and Heavy Dolce.
No pack called, allowing Slinger through. 5 points added to Australia's top score.
Star pass now for Argentina. Jammer on record will be Malopra.
Track cut called on Milling. That sends 2 blockers to the Australian penalty box. The cheese ball bearings penalty box.
Donet with a big hit at the end of the whistle there, forcing a call off by Slinger.
And that will give Argentina a pack advantage. Vasquez will be starting with only 2 Australian blockers to get through.
Tread blocks on the jam line now for Australia. Argentina, number 26 in your program if you had one here live in Barcelona, but that's known as Vasquez in the blue.
Forearm called. And that's Bagaggio off to the penalty box for Argentina. Argentina first lead for the game. Vasquez out the front for Argentina.
Just when it looked like Vasquez was going to get pushed off the track, he utilized one of the blockers from Australia to maintain his track position.
Dreadblock completes his initial pass. And Argentina hanging off, trying to get those blockers out of the penalty box. Dread with just 1 to beat. And a penalty called low block for Argentina, and that gives Dreadblocks a 4-point pass.
Vasquez knocked off track. Helmet cover about to fly off the helmet, and with that initial pass by Dreadblocks, that was the perfect call off. Sustained that 3-point advantage in the jam. (52-18) as we hit 19 minutes 30 seconds. Period number 1. Jam number 7 on tap. Sausage rolls. Taking on Black Shadow. First time for Black Shadow on the jam line for Argentina.
Sarge trying to scramble his way through. Gets knocked out by Donet.
Sausage outside not working, so slides inside, defeats the final blocker for Argentina.
And that's a track cut given to our Argentina. T2D2. Sarge with the power jam for Australia.
Black Shadow sits 30 seconds while Australia goes on a power jam. Sosar's on the outside with the force-off. Coming back to turn one. Now back on track, engaged with the pack. Ooh. Colliding with number 3, Victor. Able to maintain this balance and put 5 up on the board for Australia.
Shadow streaking out of the penalty box. Pivot in the penalty box for Argentina, while Sarge with a big apex jump, grabbing another 4 points. Multiplayer block called on Trop for Australia. The cheese ball bearing penalty box getting a bit of a workout nice and early. Vasquez is through on his initial pass.
Sosar is almost avoiding a hit by Sanchez, but Sanchez gets a low block for his efforts. And Black Shadow spinning around on his backside right in front of the penalty box as the whistle blows. The V-Mix replay showing a race and then a collision with Sosarge against Victor. But Sosarge able to utilize a falling skater and get through.
And this timeout gives us an opportunity to tell you about Roller Derby Elite. Roller Derby Elite is the brand that is the sport. RollerDerbyElite.com. They are the proud sponsor of the Worldwide Roller Derby and the platinum sponsor of Team USA. Check out RollerDerbyElite.com.
So right now for Argentina, the focus has got to be cleaning up the jammer play. Jammer penalties have been quite a challenge in the first half with 4 jams where they got at least 1 jammer penalty every time. When you know you're going to come into a very close contest, the first thing you have to keep clean is keep your jammer sheet clean of penalties. And right now, Argentina struggling to get that done.
They've only had lead 1 time in this game so far. And with a jammer penalty every second jam, essentially, averaged out. They really do need to focus on calming themselves. Chispa on a high rotation. It's his 3rd jam for Argentina in the blue.
Back to action now. G-Spa trying to push through 2 blockers up front. Chest to chest, able to score through. Lead jam for Argentina.
Lucky Phil with the jammer start off. Looking for some help from no pivot.
Lucky Phil through with the star in hand.
Pivot in the penalty box for Australia though, so perhaps just looking for a little bit of stealth to get his way through.
Stealth and or aerodynamics. Either way, the call off was forced. 3 points on the jam for Argentina. Cruz versus Slinger. Cruz in blue, Slinger in yellow. One blocker in the penalty box for Australia. Milling on his feet, so he should be entering momentarily. That'll put us 5-on-5 once that happens. Until that multi-block penalty. And now Argentina with the disadvantage at the pack. Heavy action in turn 1, but no real advantage by either side. Finally, Slinger.
30 seconds for Slinger to get through the pack. Cruz unable to get through as yet.
Slinger heavy contact. and a whistle pop, but it was not on Slinger. It was a multiplayer block in the back, so Slinger threw unscathed for 5. No, we'll call it 4.
And that multiplayer given to Chambers, so giving Argentina the pack advantage. Cruz muscling his way through, getting a back block call though. With Milling getting in his way on the way to the penalty box.
Cruz taking hits while making his way to the penalty box.
Slinger with the power jam for Australia.
Slinger locked in the corner, forced to call it off before too many seconds ticked off of the very important power jam for Australia. With a 53-point lead, Australia really has an opportunity here to take complete control of this contest. 14-point jam, scoreboard trickery again. 9-point jam by Slinger.
Or indeed 10.
Let's call it 10.
It's like an auction. Sarge on the jam line for Australia. Marching his way past Argentina's Sanchez.
So Sar's now in a scoring position. Outside, then straight to center.
Cruz back on the track for Argentina.
Cruz looking to pressure Sar's into a call-off, but needs to get this initial pass cut first.
Cruz with just one to beat. Completes his initial pass.
Now Sar's through.
And Sarge calls that jam off.
Thirteen to go, period number 1. Jam number 11 about to commence. 75-21 Australia over Argentina. Pibe on the jam line.
On the gentleman's jammer line, we have the gentleman, David Decker. He's up against Pibe. Pibe knocked straight out by Pretty Skate Machine, also known as Aaron Van Berkel.
That block cost a penalty. Both jammers through.
There was no pass, no penalty called on David Deckham, and that gives Pibe the lead. Dex is going to use his speed to cancel that advantage. Launching himself in the air. Up and over the top of Optimus Quad, who goes back to the penalty box. He had only just come back out of the penalty box. Deckham assessed with a low block, but told to get back onto the track.
Yeah. That penalty was definitely rescinded, and I think that there was just communication issues, but Deckham was not able to get the audible cue from the jam ref in time. Costly track position, and Pibe will take advantage.
Argentina only managing to get a 1-point advantage there. 5 for Argentina, 4 for Australia. So great pressure there by David Deckham to be able to pull that away from losing the lead. As you can see in the replay there.
Following Deckham in through that little space. Pibe ends up falling on top of Deckham, and I think that Deckham thought he was going to get a low block for that.
Lucky Phil managing to pull lead there for Australia.
A high block on Milling.
Vasquez seeking on the inside of Copter, but pushed out of bounds. Lucky Phil on the toe stops, grabbing 4 with no pass, no point.
Plenty of style. Plenty of style.
Plenty of style, getting the jammer point. And Phil calling that jam off. 4 more added to Australia's score. Australia playing some very smart derby at the moment, just grabbing points where they're available and calling it off before they lose that advantage. And that jam actually bringing Australia 8 more points.
Slinger back towing the jam line for Australia. Argentina has Black Shadow, number 7 in the black and blue. Inside position completely shut down by both sets of blockers.
Chambers just managing to get a little bit of a shoulder, taking Black Shadow out of bounds.
Slinger lead jammer. Slinger quickly around, already engaged with the pack. Tries to hit center mass through the middle. Now 1 blocker to beat.
Black Shadow trying to get a bit of a hand from Leia.
Forearm penalty on Slinger. That means power jam time for Argentina. Black Shadow slips and falls on the attempted move outside, but gets the offensive help needed to break through and get the initial pass done. Now Argentina poised to score some points on this jam.
Collins being drawn back by Bagaggio, but you'll notice that Collins is in no hurry to rejoin the track.
Well, actually, they work in their favor while Bagaggio waits for Slinger to get out of the box. That pulled the pack closer for Black Shadow to get points.
Slinger managing to hold the inside line, completes another 4-point pass.
Only 30 seconds left in the jam. Black Shadow passes the star.
And a power jam awarded to Australia. So Bagaggio going into the penalty box as a jammer, holding the star in his hand.
Yeah, definitely a successful pass, but then there was that cut.
And Australia calling that jam off after adding 3 more points. 17 in total for that jam.
.109.31. 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go, period number 1. Jam number 14, and official timeout. That's officially time for me to let you folks know about bruised skate straps. Skates are just not quite fitting right. Don't let foot heel slippage mess with your game. Check out bruised skate straps. They wrap around your boot and your plate and keep your feet in place so you can improve your agility. Be better with bruised skate straps. That's bruisedsn.com.
Thank you so much for all the officials here, the skating and non-skating officials. Thank you also to all the volunteers, and of course to First Aid for keeping us safe and well. And also to the technicians who are looking after the streaming crew. I know there have been some problems with the stream. We've had some feedback from all around the world. There have been some troubles with the screen. It is an incredibly hard job to do, and they are certainly working very, very hard to be able to bring you this this fantastic tournament at home.
This official timeout also brought to you by Cheese Balls Bearings. Cheese Balls Bearings are the most reliable, longest lasting bearing. They're available at affordable prices. Check them out online or at your local skate shop, cheeseballs.com. I gotta think that when folks from Cheese Balls look for cheeseballs.com to be open as a domain name, they had to have been blown away, because you would have figured that had been snatched up straight away. Official review still underway. Argentina still unable to manage the
We are currently in official
jammer
timeout
penalty
because the
situation,
medics are unavailable due to tending an
and
injury.
have not come up with a strategy to better deal with the height and the size of the blocking force that is the Wizard of Oz, the Australians.
They are quite a large bunch, certainly compared to quite a few of the Argentinians. Well, I think what Australia needs to do is perhaps recruit Optimus Grime from Scotland, and then there'll be just an enormous group of trees on skates. All right, time back on, and of course the timeouts here do count. The clock does stop in these full-length games.
Almost 3 minutes of stoppage there, but we're back to play, folks. Whoa, what contact in turn one. Coming in hot was David Deckham in low, earning the low block. Glad to see everybody peeled off the sport court without any damage there.
Bagajo with the Jammer Star for Argentina. He's still able to get the jammer status. He's got 2 to beat in Galar and Trop. Galar using the soft technique, but having to disengage because he was out of the pack. And that gives lead for Argentina.
Yeah, Bagajo's had the star a couple of times from a pivot star pass. First time actually towing the line. Also, coincidentally, the only Argentinian skater whose name is not printed on the back of the jersey. So clearly aerodynamics have been improved for that skater. We'll reset once again. Cheeseball bearings, penalty box empty. 5-on-5, 80 wheels on the track. Chispa, your jammer for Argentina. Sosar's rolls, our Australian representative with the starred helmet cover. Splitting the D on all fours, up again. Nobody able to catch Sosar's, but not lead because no pass, no penalty.
Chispa, though, relatively stationary just before the pivot line. Not able to get past Carlson's Pretty Skate Machine and Chambers.
I like how you said relatively stationary. I would say practically imprisoned by a forest of Australian blockers.
And apologies to those following at home. I keep switching between the Australians, their legal names and their derby names, depending on what they've got printed on their backs there.
Sometimes knowledge is power, sometimes it's a detriment.
A powerful detriment.
So SARS through 5 in the sky.
Chispa still stuck. He's still able to get lead, but Sarge just keeps on skating around, clocking up 5 every time.
Victor tried to throw a whiff there.
Sosa to give.
Again with the backside block that Victor's unable to connect with. And Sosars just breezes through for 5.
And we've got a star pass.
Now a rotation of blockers in and out of the box for Argentina.
Just 20 seconds left in this jam.
Fortunately for Chispa, picks up a penalty after handing over the star. So at least no advantage for Australia from a power jam perspective. But
Sarge managing to just sneak his way past that last Argentinian blocker to grab 5 more.
I love how Sarge takes a peek at the scoreboard and sees just a few seconds left, turns on the afterburners to fly around the track and collect 5 more points at the end of the jam.
And if we were able to get a replay on Sarge ducking under Party Boy, that would be an awesome achievement. Here it comes.
Who can get lower?
Party Boy was pretty low. Sarge just able to get that little bit lower. We're very lucky to be able to have these replays by vMix. Check out what they do for software, vmix.com. Truscott trying to hold Bagaggio back from the rest of his teammates.
Lucky Phil cruising to lead jammer. Chispa
on the track. Now Chispa is wearing the star on the track. I thought he went to the penalty box as a blocker, not as a jammer. So referees perhaps reassessing the star pass and finding it to be illegally.
For this jam though, Chispa is jamming and Lucky Phil is jamming, and Lucky Phil is putting points on the board every time he passes the pack.
Multiplayer block called on Chispa. Power jam now for Lucky Phil. Many power jams going the way of Australia.
Not always a common penalty you're going to get from a jam position, they're getting a multiplayer block, but
who was he holding on to?
As the jammer came through, clearly Chispa tried to throw a little help and it didn't work out well. Now
Lucky Phil going for the power start, or giving the next Australian jammer the power start.
That's Slinger.
Chispa being a very high rotation jammer. He has 3 penalties, but there's a whole half of derby coming up. And Slinger with the power jam.
So far, P-Bay with only 2 jams in this first half. With only 2 minutes left. Not the amount of work I expected to see from the MVP jammer from the 2016 Men's Rotary World Cup. Now, that's either strategic or there is a challenge with P-Bay physically. You know, it's tough to speculate here from a microphone position, but it is quite interesting to not have P-Bay on the track consistently.
Chispa with the helmet cover off, but putting it back on after he snuck through the pack.
Chispa through 4 points. Slinger, 1 to beat. Able to get that easily done for 4 more. 9-4 jam advantage for Australia. 161-39. We are at 1 minute to go. Period number 1. Jam number 18. Almost ready to kick off. Cruise for Argentina. Dreadblocks number 13 in yellow for Australia. Want to give a shout out to all of our Australian and Argentinian fans watching and listening from wherever you are.
Dreadblocks running up the inside line. Grabs lead jammer status. Truscott trying to hold back Argentina's Cruz. Cruz seeing an opportunity, but a track cut assessed, giving a power jam to Dreadblocks.
They don't give me a whistle or a striped shirt, but it was right in front of me, that track cut, and he could not miss it. I like what Cruz was trying to do there, but unfortunately just one skate on the outside of the track puts you in the box.
Sanchez and Victor trying to hold back the tide. Dreadblock trying to get past that last set of blockers. The forearm penalty assessed on Argentina's. That is Sanchez. Jammer Cruz is back on the track.
Good job penalty killing there by Argentina.
Their blocking game is certainly strong, and they really do just need to stem the tide of those jammer penalties. Up on the toe stops, Dreadblock skips through for a 5-point pass.
There are certain matchups that Argentina has been able to be very defensive on. But then again, there are other lines that Australia's put out there that they just have no answer for.
Cruz getting a lift off Donut, and he's through for a 4-point pass.
Four wall up front from Argentina has Dreadblocks locked into position. But now Cruz knocked off and has to go behind Copter, turn 4.
Cruz just chucking his hips back. And gets 3 points there.
After that final 3-point registry from Argentina, they will take the jam advantage 7-5 over Australia.
Australia calling for an official review.
Look at the dancing footwork up front by Dreadblocks on that 2-wall, but this is where Argentina was able to do a good job of slowing down the work by Dreadblocks. Forced off the track, and there was a recycle there, but that kind of work against Dreadblocks is why Argentina was able to get that 7. Another calling it 7-8. That maybe that's what the official review is for. Did Australia get 3 points on that?
In the meantime, you could check out Quad Skate Shop. It's Europe's original brick and mortar skate shop. It's got an outstanding selection and a delivery guarantee. You can check them out online, quadrollerskateshop.com.
Current official review is Australia looking for a charging penalty against Blue Jammer number 12. That was Cruz.
If you were thinking you would like to be here, but you're not, and you're probably not because you're listening to the stream.
And unless you're in Barcelona, you were napping, you decided to jump on and watch because you didn't want to get a cab back to the arena.
Yeah, fair enough. In any case,
but that's not happening.
Get some merch,
is
what I'm saying. Get some merch. Jump on to the Men's Roller Derby World Cup.com site. Grab yourself some merch.
All of our replays and great video work are brought to us this weekend by VMix Software. Check out
the yellow
vmix.com
team was looking for a
if you
charge
have
call
video
on the Blue
software
Jammer
needs,
at
and you
the
can run
previous
stream for
jam.
your local
Upon
roller
review,
derby
the contact was not continued as the two
After
involved
review,
parties were falling. The no
It
call
has been
stands.
determined that there was no charge penalty against Cruz, so that official review will not be retained, and they will lose the official review for the half at the end of the half. What a convenient time to lose it. 169-46. We'll be back to action in about 15 minutes or so. Mel and I will be back for sure earlier than that to talk to you guys in just a moment. To the M14 track number 2 men's roller derby World Cup 2018. Australia versus Argentina in the quarterfinals. Period number 1 came to a close with Australia in the lead, 169-46. And if you weren't here for the first half, let me update you on what took place. It was basically a tale of incredible defense by the much larger blocking 4 walls of Australia, and the challenge that Argentina had was staying out of the penalty box, especially from a cut track perspective. First 4 penalties against their jammers through jam number 7 were all cut track penalties. A couple of back blocks here and there, but so far Argentina with 7 penalties on their jammers through period number 1. That's not going to do it if they're hoping to climb back into this contest down more than 120 points. Australia able to stay out of the penalty box from their jammer. Only 2 jammer penalties in period number 1.
Just a quick reminder of who we have playing today. In the gold for Australia, we have 05 Lucky Phil, 1-1 Sausage Rolls, 1-2 Simon Chambers, 1-2-6-1 Slinger, 1-3 Matthew Hawley with dreadblocks on the back of the shirt there. Number 1-6 Ballistic Whistle with Carlson on the back of his shirt. 173 Copter, 34 Dirty 5. Number 4 Ashley Collins, 51 Sin, 633 Milling, 7200 Trop, 777 David Deckham, number 80 Flaming Galar, number 90 Grease Monkey. And on their bench we have Yana Nuku and Bianca Schiaretta.
Argentinian skaters in blue and black have been 0207 Sosa and the 08 Bibe, 087 Lea, number 10 Chispa, number 12 Cruz, number 13 Malopra, number 20 Party Boy, number 21 Heavy Dolce, 22 Optimus Quad, 26 Vasquez, 28 Sanchez, 3 Victor, number 7 Black Shadow. This information brought to you by Sucker Punch Skate Shop. It's the largest derby-owned and operated store in Europe, operating online and actually having a physical store here in Europe. Heavily involved in the European derby community and on a number of levels, and known as a reliable source for honest advice, competitive prices, as well as top quality products with a huge product range. Check out Sucker Punch Skate Shops. We're ready. Period number 2. Slinger on the jam line for Australia with a 100% jammer effectiveness rate. Chispa, number 10 for Argentina on the jam line. Ready for period number 2.
Chispa doing the lion's share of the jamming for Argentina, which is, I guess, a little surprising for us with Pibe not actually having that many jams today so far. He's only been on the jammer line for 3 times, which is only half as many as Chispa. Argentina, the fans for Argentina, having a little break at halftime and certainly recharging their chants. I'm guessing you can probably hear them chanting from home.
Screenshots of the fans probably don't get to come into play very much as the focus is on the track, but there's great representation of Argentinian and Australian fans in the building currently. We're back to action, and right away, G-Bob exploding to the inside for lead jammer.
Slinger with 1 to beat. They are through, completing their initial pass. Previously had 100% for lead jammer status.
First time Slinger does not get lead jam in the competition. A waterfall of players falling outside. Chispa losing the starred helmet cover. Oh, it is a forearm penalty against Chispa after getting back that starred helmet cover. But again, penalties against jammers.
And Cruz just sauntering his way over to the penalty box. Penalty times do not start until the player sits in the chair. And that's probably why you will see people hustle to the penalty box.
Victor with a failure to reform penalty. One of those situations where he wanted to reform, but was unable to reform and therefore penalized.
Chispa out of the penalty box. But Slinger adding another 5. That's 2 5-point passes.
Slinger nudged outside from Sanchez. Excuse me, that was Optimus Quad with that block, but it was solved by Slinger nonetheless.
16 seconds left on the clock. Slinger collapsing with Optimus Quad, I think. Slinger being squished between Quad and Bagaggio, but Bagaggio sent to the penalty box for a forearm block.
Bagaggio pointing to the elbow on his way to the bench, indicating he did not believe that his forearm was involved in withholding Slinger. But oftentimes, the explanation on your way to the box is, I didn't do it.
It's called the Bart Simpson defense.
Dirty 5 jamming for Australia, taking on Cruz. First time on the jam line for Dirty 5. And we go lead jammer for Cruz in Argentina. Positive outcomes when they keep their jammers out of the box.
Both jammers showing incredible pace, bouncing off the floor as he calls that jam off.
Grant Milling with a great hip shot just at the whistle, spun Cruz to the floor.
As you can see there, the VMix replay. Cruz managing to give, Cruz managing to get some air off Milling.
Sosa's rolls for Australia. Number 26, Vasquez.
Vasquez seems to think that he was the one that blocked him out of bounds. And Sarge obviously agreeing. Being driven all the way back.
And then it's a sprint. And
you don't see that very often.
Sometimes the best laid plans go to waste as Sosa's rolls blows Vasquez to the floor and picks up lead jammer.
And Vasquez spending a bit of time there asking the referee if that was an illegal block, but referee indicating that it definitely wasn't, using a legal target zone.
General rule of thumb, when you're lying on the floor and hear no whistles, you're not going to get one.
Sarge just brushing those blockers aside. He looks over at the bench, Yananuku indicating that he should do some dance moves, I think is what the bench is indicating.
Yes.
Sarge, however, doesn't hear the music. He just keeps skating.
Somebody's eyewear has fallen onto the track.
That would be Bagaggio's. Doesn't seem to need them though.
Bagaggio seeing well enough to slow down Sosa's rolls for a moment. Then Victor with a 2-point takedown.
And forearm block assessed for that. Sarge adding another 4 to Australia's score.
For you non-experienced roller derby fans, you don't actually get 2 points for taking someone down. I was making a wrestling joke there because lots of derby fans watch wrestling, don't they?
Lots of people watch wrestling.
Freestyle wrestling.
What's wrestling?
No, I've never heard of it.
You see a replay there on Sarge. Bouncing off Bagaggio. Another VMix replay.
We're back to live action. David Deckham threw on the lead jammer for Australia.
And Black Shadow diving onto the ground up and over the top of Milling. He completes his initial pass.
Four points for David Deckham. Hot on his heels, Black Shadow.
Shadow is closing that gap. Only 2 in the Australian wall. Shadow bouncing off Copter.
Black Shadow.
For one last.
What a great smile as he knew Copter was going to unload on him coming around, and he was prepared. That's outstanding. .207.66. 23 minutes ago, period number 2. Jam number 5 of the period about to take place was Slinger taking on P-Bay. P-Bay's first action of the second period. This is Slinger's second jam of the period. First time out, Slinger lost lead jam for the first time. Trying to get back on track. P-Bay outside, slides through. Should be a track cut, yep, from across the world. It should. I'm seeing the indication. Oh, a forearm against Slinger. That puts P-Bay as lead jammer.
And referees, whistles going all over the place. A track cut assessed. So it seemed to be a very late call.
And I'm very curious as to that track cut. Was it here at turn 1 or 2, or was it on the front stretch?
We think it was a late call, which
You had 2 OPRs calling 2 penalties on 2 jammers, I think, simultaneously. And through all of that, trying to determine lead jammer and the many whistles that were coming through, at the end of the day, we know is both of them has visited the box. Nobody is lead jammer. We'll go the full 2 minutes.
Slinger with 1 to beat. They are through for a 5-point pass. Pibe through as well, 5 points each. All blockers back onto the track. Milling trying to take Pibe out, but Pibe getting low as you can.
You can get low, but you can't get Pibe low.
Pibe doing it again, up and under Simon Chambers. And then a track cut to boot, getting past Ballistic Missile. Also known as Carlson.
It's a tough recipe to block Pibe on that outside move, because if you commit to the backside, he's going to duck under. And if you commit forward, there's a good chance you'll get a low block on him and you'll go to the box. So,
and Australia managing to grind Pibe to a halt. Argentina blockers in there trying to give him a hand.
Knee pad cover debris on the track, kicked off by Milling. And then the whistle, so Milling gets his knee pad cover back, or somebody's knee pad cover back.
3 apiece, a very evenly matched. Watch the V-mix
Watch
replay.
Pibe just low enough and maintaining track position.
Terrific sense of balance there.
And then Slinger being handled by number 4, Vergasio. Timeout Australia. This timeout, ladies and gentlemen, is brought to you by Roller Derby Elite. Roller Derby Elite continues to match luxury with technology, whether you play in a competitive league or skate in the street with your friends. It's all about the experience. So go out there and skate. RollerDerbyElite.com. Also, Quad Skate Shop, Europe's original brick-and-mortar skate shop. Outstanding selection with a delivery guarantee. You can also check them out online at quadrollerskateshop.com. Mel, we've seen Argentina actually show what they can do when they are not in penalty trouble with their jammers. Last jam, 17-7 advantage over Australia. Pibe, maybe he'll start to get more time on the track here in the second period. Remember, Chispa, 6 jams in the first period. Pibe only had 3. Not sure, again, if there's a physical issue or if it's a strategic issue.
Is it a case of Argentina leaving their run a little bit too late, though? They certainly came back with a vengeance from half-time, so perhaps the tide is changing for them. Chispa with a back block, though. He was out in front, certainly first out of the pack, but has to go to the cheese ball bearings penalty box. 35 managing to get the lead jammer status.
Yeah, 35, very quick and agile, but very much a physical artillery-style jammer. Skates to contact and then tries to manipulate body position to get off of blocks.
And the level of noise in the pavilion at the moment has been very frustrating for the Australian bench. Yadanuku, arms flaying, yelling, call, 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 and 35 not catching that instruction until a bit later.
The ceilings are quite high in this pavilion, as you stated. There's a lot of echo, there's a lot of sound, the ambient noise. It can be hard when you're on the bench closest to the jam line to communicate over in turn 2.
And an official review has been called by Argentina, so perhaps there was something in the jammer penalty just now.
This official review brought to you by Men's Roller Derby World Cup merchandise. The official merchandise for the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2018 can be purchased online at MRDWC.com/merch. That's right. You can wear the official shirt of the Men's Roller Derby World Cup 2018 in Barcelona. Just go to MRDWC.com/merch. MRDWC.com/merch. We also want to thank our sponsors, Roller Derby Elite, a proud sponsor of Roller Derby Wide World Roller Derby, and platinum sponsor of Team USA. Check out rollerderbyelite.com.
So Argentina just asking for referees to rescind the back block call. I believe the back block call was on Chispa.
It's an interesting review because you're asking for a penalty be rescinded ultimately for penalty count. They won't change what happened in the jam.
The blue
So
team
the 4
is
points
releasing
at Australia.
the back
It will
block
release him from the
removed
penalty
blue
box and stop
jammer.
Deccan from having
Referees
the
will be
power
discussing.
jam.
That is also true. But I think that getting something like that overturned, I don't know. I don't think your reward is high enough unless Chispa is in too much penalty trouble and they can't afford this to continue to rack up. Then they'll have to change their strategic approach to their jammer rotation.
Each team, of course, only getting one official review per half. So if Argentina lose this official review, they will have lost the ability to call an official review for the rest of the game.
And 19 and a half minutes left in the period.
You can see the VMix replay.
That's P-Bay on his
P-Bay.
last time on the track with that great under move. And then this was Slinger pancaking, going shoulder to shoulder, then just flipping over Bergasio. While P-Bay goes airborne and avoids a block by number 16, Ballistic Whistle.
The game clock stops with official reviews in these full-length games.
Looks like the official review has completed. We'll find out what that ends up being as soon as the head referee gives us the verdict.
Upon review, the blocker was not completely down as only one hand was touching. There was space for the blocker or the jammer to stand appropriately, and they initiated contact in the middle of the back while standing, knocking the yellow blocker down. The back block call stands. Blue will not retain
So
their
the back
official
block
review.
call is going to stand against Chispa.
So no change.
And like I indicated, I really believe that was a tough reversal to go after, a tough time to use your review. The only reason I can imagine that they did that was very much concerned about the number of penalties Chispa has.
Which indicates their plan to use Chispa quite significantly in this half.
Well, now out of the box and back on the track, and then
Low
David
block.
Deccan with a low block penalty, so an opportunity for a power jam here if Chispa can get through and get lead. That happens to the inside. A quick turn of events and a quick reversal of fortune.
And maybe that was part of the plan as well, just to stop Australia's momentum.
Maybe a timeout would have been a better usage if that was something you'd hope to do, but there's 5 points in the air for Argentina. Chispa just smashed by Carlson, folded over like a lawn chair and has to recycle behind the jam line.
Deccan back on the track. Being swallowed up by Argentina's wall.
Carlson uses the sit-down technique to hold Chispa down.
Deccan's out.
Chispa locked behind a wall of trees. Taps and calls.
Chispa adding 8 points to Argentina's score. Argentina now sitting on 91 versus Australia's 218.
Dirty 5 on the jam line for Australia. Cruz, number 12 in the black and blue for Argentina. Cheese balls, bearings, penalty box empty. 80 wheels on the track. 5-on-5 jam number 8 underway.
Cruz getting a little bit of a hand.
There goes 35. Already with the initial pass, now weaving through with points.
Chambers sent to the penalty box.
Sneaks past the block by Sosa.
Truscott taking Cruz out of bounds. No pass, no penalty though. Truscott obviously going out of bounds himself.
Direction of gameplay block on number 20 Party Boy. Excuse me, that was 28. Excuse me, Sanchez.
And 5-point pass for 35.
Party Boy and Leia are up, the only blockers on the track for Argentina.
Cruz getting back on the track, but no points added in that pass. That jam giving Australia 9 more points and Argentina 4 more. There's 16 and a bit minutes left in this game.
2-3 pack advantage for Australia. Vasquez on the jam line for Argentina. Number 13 in yellow, Dreadblocks. He says Dreadblocks, but all he does is jam.
That was truly terrible.
Thank you.
Maybe he's jamming because he dreadblocks.
He dreads blocking. All of Australia just threw their hands up in a fit of anger over my ignorance of the sport.
Chambers giving the spoil to Vasquez. Vasquez is lead jammer for this jam.
Vasquez shoved off of the track by number 90 Grease Monkey.
Out of play blocking. Trust got off to the penalty box. Dreadblocks flaying the arms in the air and gets his way through on his initial pass.
Superb toe stop work on that run. Look at that. 2 runs and a spin. On the jam line for Australia, David Deco taking on Black Shadow from Argentina.
It's the 7s. The battle of the 7s.
I can't handle that many 7s.
Who could that be lucky for? Multiplayer block called on Donnet for Argentina, and that lets Deckham through on his initial pass.
Deckham with a quick hockey stop, avoiding contact.
Calling that jam off before Dark Shadow could add anything to Argentina's score.
3 points at that whistle. Brings the total for Australia 230 to 98. 13 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Period number 2, jam number 11. P-Bay for Argentina back on the track. Number 11, Sosar's rolls. P-Bay's second jam. First jam was very successful from a point total. But now P-Bay.
Sausage rolls, ducking and weaving in the front. He gets through his lead jammer. P-Bay getting some air. Chambers drawing him right back to the jammer line.
Sosar's easy through at that 5. P-Bay finally on the initial pass. Now, Sosar's rolls just blowing up Donnet. Chest to chest against Sanchez. Released and 4 points. Coach Sarah Chambers asking for Sosar's rolls to get that call off, but I don't think it happened in time for what's Coach Chambers was looking for.
What was she looking for?
Don't know exactly why, but she seemed disappointed.
So Argentina managing to get 3 points. Perhaps that was what Chambers was trying to avoid. Big fall there from Donette.
Lucky Phil lead jammer for Australia.
With a piece of knee pad on the track. Australia playing the quick game, 4 and call, as you can see on the VMix replay.
Watch you get a great shot there of Lucky Phil's sweet sunglasses.
Yeah, Lucky Phil doesn't do so well under the fluoro.
And there's plenty of that here. A lot of natural light as well, but it's bright.
It's quite a great venue, really. Anyone watching from Australia who has anything to do with roller derby understands the great value in having a venue. Vasquez jamming for Argentina in the blue.
35 through for Australia, lead jammer. Some more debris left on the track, this time a pivot cover for Argentina, so whomever the pivot was to start that, they were not aware that they'd lost that. It's been a debris-filled game. Eyewear, knee pad covers, helmet covers.
In one of the earlier games, we saw someone's skate split in two.
Yep, the front truck flew completely off for that skater, and that skater was still able to get an initial pass on one skate. Number 7, Black Shadow Jammer for Argentina.
Having an awful time trying to get past the likes of Trop, Milling and Copter.
David Deckham weasels his way through for lead jammer.
And Black Shadow sneaking his way on the inside line, completing his initial pass.
Yeah, heavy collision there by David Deckham. The full arm penalty was cocked and loaded and ready to be shot, and there it went.
And that means the jam will go for the full 2 minutes, 1 minute and 15 seconds left.
Black Shadow for 5. Pack picks up speed around turn 4. Black Shadow's inside, forced to recycle.
Deckham back on the track. Has to go drawn back by Party Boy.
Bringing it back all the way to the jam line.
Argentina fans feeling pretty strong about their position right now.
Australian supporters responding with plenty of excitement on their own. 139-point lead will help you be excited, generally speaking.
It is easy to be chilled when you've got that on your side. Deckham with one to beat. Had an awful lot of trouble getting past that last blocker there. That, of course, was Heavy Dolce. 3 added to Australia's score, but 9 for Argentina.
So you see P-Bay back on the track. We haven't seen Chispa since that penalty, so obviously that penalty affected the rotation. It is now more enlightening than ever to see that Argentina was very concerned about the number of penalties that Chispa has, and now P-Bay back on the track, trying to do some work on the outside, but dunked right off by Carlson.
Slingers lead.
One point for Argentina on that jam. 1 point for Australia on that jam. Lucky Phil now towing the line for Australia. Number 12, that's Cruz for Argentina. And now there's an invading Australian blocker with the hug technique.
What is Truscott doing?
Anything you can do to throw somebody off of their plan, I appreciate the approach. And as long as you get back where you're supposed to be before the whistle blows.
A hug from Truscott is distracting. Lucky Phil trying to get through the wall with his face. Not really a very good technique. A no pass, no point situation for Cruz. I am not sure how that jam got called off. There was no pass, no penalty, meaning no lead awarded to Argentina.
As soon as Australia got lead, they called it, so it was instantaneous. As soon as it awarded, it was cut.
I should pay more attention.
It was quick, extremely quick. Vasquez off the track almost immediately, and Sin backs it all the way up to the apex. Now a brace to 3-wall for Vasquez to approach. More debris.
He's lost the star off his helmet. Australia are going to want to hold him off from picking up that panty. He cannot score without that panty on.
And if a 3-wall is going to get it done, it's that 3-wall. But just as a window opens up by Donette, and Vasquez gets the star off the ground.
Carlson forcing Vasquez back.
Back to being locked down by that brace 3-wall from Australia as Vasquez. 35 puts up 5. .35 low into the outside. Not very comfortable in getting back up, and then popped out of bounds, and there's a direction of gameplay or back block. It's back block is going to be the penalty there. One of those situations where you can call either one. Nice hit there by Vergasio to knock .35 off. Vergasio holds his hands in victory. I loved my hit.
So that play back there, Bud, we saw .35 get a back block from Argentina, but he did not continue onto the track. He went all the way back around to avoid a track cut.
I think at this point, when you have any question at all from a jammer, you're going to just err on the side of caution. You're not in a situation where you have to put points on the board immediately, so take the time, get into a safe track position and go.
And David Deckham managing to get a cut track on Black Shadow. So that's a power jam for Australia.
David Deckham with lead. Seems to have someone on the outside, but cuts quickly inside, avoiding a block by Sanchez. Now that 2-wall up front of Sanchez and Donette. Five points awarded to Deckham.
Heavy Dolce just sliding across the front of Deckham. Not able to make contact though. You see Black Shadow back on the track with Donnet drawing Deckham back. Donnet and Nullaprob now holding Deckham.
Almost.
So very nearly, but now Flaming Galar suggesting it was him that blocked him out. I don't think it was, you know.
It was interesting. I would love to see a replay on Black Shadow trying to hold on to one of his own players and avoiding falling off the track.
Black Shadow skipping on the inside line as well. Terrific awareness of where his feet are. Argentinian blockers putting on ample pressure to force the call off. 14 points added to Australia's score. 273 playing 1-1-1.
Now inside of 2 minutes to go in the period, a healthy 273 to 111 lead for Australia in the quarterfinals. Period 2 jam number 19 about to take place. P-Bay on the jam line for Argentina. Number 11, Sausage rolls for Australia.
Sarge getting a smack to the head.
Shot right
Being
to the
called as a
kisser.
high block.
Leia did not like that, but I'm assuming that Sochars didn't like getting smacked in the mouth, so. P-Bay sneaking through.
And Sausage rolls. Oh, there's a panic. It's someone's panty cover. They might have been wearing a spare.
Four points for Australia.
It's a low score for Sausage. He's been topping the scores for the Australian Jammers. And a timeout being called. Official timeout, it seems.
It is official. This official timeout is being brought to you by Sucker Punch Skate Shop. Sucker Punch Skate Shop is the largest Derby-owned and operated store in Europe, operating online and actually having a physical store. Heavily involved in European Derby community on a number of levels, we're best known for reliable, honest advice and competitive prices, as well as top quality products and a huge product range. Check out Sucker Punch Skate Shop.
Simon Chambers with a much closer view to the play than we have. He's just told us what happened there with the spare helmet cover. The pivot went out with a pivot cover on his helmet, as well as a pivot cover in his hand. They faked a star pass with the jammer taking the helmet cover off, and the pivot through the spare pivot cover off the track, distracting the Australian blockers, allowing their jammer to get on through. Bit of sneaky from Argentina.
So we're suggesting there was intentional misdirection on
and I think that's what the official review is about. They're now considering whether it's an illegal procedure, a misconduct call for such cheekiness. So a misconduct for faking the star pass. The rules aren't particularly specific on actions like that, but there is always that cache of movement that referees can have where they can say that was something we didn't think was fair.
Interpretation of the rule set as it exists has to be something that's communicated within the group of officials. They've seen a play. They don't know if the play fell under the specific verbiage of the rule set, but what they do know is that it was something that the players did to gain an advantage that shouldn't be allowed in the gameplay. They come together. A misconduct is is given to Argentina. So number 4, Bersaglio will sit in the penalty box for 30 seconds. I'm believing 30 seconds right now. There's still officials communicating with folks in the penalty box now with the coaches to clarify if, and in fact, Bersaglio is leaving the penalty box. That could be from a total number of penalties. We'll get official word here in just a moment, I hope.
So number 3 for Argentina, Victor, is sitting in the penalty box with the pivot helmet cover on.
We'll be forever in wonderment as we get no explanation from the officiating team.
Cruz is now jamming for Argentina. This will be the last jam before the game. Dreadlock streaking his way through, gets lead jammer status.
Initial pass by Cruz also completed. Now we'll wait and see how long Australia wants this jam to go.
Cruz jumping high up on the back of Truscott. Illegal procedure called. Cruz is off to the penalty box.
You are not allowed to piggyback another player into the track position.
Dreadblocks bounces on out. Blocking out a play called for Oscares. Only one blocker on the track for Argentina. Optimus Quad not able to stop Dreadblocks, and a 5-point pass awarded there. Overall, that jam bringing 14 points for the Wizards of Oz.
So we're still unofficial, but 291 to 111 looks like what we're going to end up a final score with. A very good win for Australia. They were able to really impose their physical advantage from the beginning. They were able to force Argentina to take some chances on the jam line. Those jammer penalties resulted in a number of scoring advantages for Australia, and they continued that throughout the second period.
And the pressure on Argentina, perhaps demonstrated by the fake panty pass, that didn't quite work out for them as they'd hoped. But certainly a very entertaining game.
And if there are points awarded for creativity and trying to work in and out of the rules, then Argentina should at least get a notch on the tree for that.
They certainly should.
It's been a wonderful time calling for this contest. We'll continue the action right away. I am Captain Motorboater. I want to thank you for spending time with us this afternoon, evening, or morning, depending when you're watching it.
And I am Melodrama, and we hope to catch you back trackside very soon.